College basketball's national championship tournament season, known as March Madness, gets underway today. This year, St. John's, Iona, and other Catholic schools across the country will be playing. Now, here's a fun fact that a lot of people may not know. Traditionally, the Catholics do very well in the men's competition. Joining us now is Clemente Lisi, who writes for the website Religion Unplugged. Clemente, thank you so much for being here. I just want to go ahead and get this out of the way. All right, shameless plug. I'm a St. John's alum, so you know I'm praying hard for this right now, okay? The phenomenon of Catholic schools actually achieving success in the tournament, it dates back decades. There have been a lot of winners over the years. What is behind this success?
Well, what people told me for my piece when I was working on it was that these schools are mission-oriented, and they started out in really urban areas, New York, Chicago. So as you see, college football is big in the South, and places like that with a lot of space and room. Basketball really grew in urban areas like New York, Chicago, New Orleans. And so as a result, Catholic schools have been really, really good at basketball over the decades. And we've seen that with Villanova, for example, who won the championship 2 out of the last 3 years.
And speaking of Villanova, a professor at that Catholic school makes the point that where Catholic schools are located, location has a lot to do with its success. You talked a little bit about that, but expound a little bit more on that.
Yeah, so what people were telling me was that they're mission-oriented. They really want to help students. Villanova is a really good example. Villanova, Jay Wright, their coach, creates a family environment there. It's very faith-based. These Catholic schools really live their faith in their basketball teams. And so I think alums of these schools can tell you the same thing, that yes, faith in God and Jesus is a really big part of the team. And even though the students are not Catholic themselves, but they sort of are all on board with this message. And I think it creates a unity.
And we have to mention Villanova captured the national crown last year, so I'm going to ask you to put on the hat. To the dismay.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was not very happy, but you know what? Give credit where credit is due.
Correct.
Can they repeat?
They can. They're a number 6 seed. They had a pretty difficult regular season, but they really pulled through when the games counted. They won the Big East tournament. They beat Seton Hall, another Catholic school. And so now I think they're one of those teams that can do it.
I literally cannot have this conversation with you without asking, do you think St. John's has a winning shot at this?
Look, getting all the way to the Final Four will be extremely difficult. It would be the ultimate Cinderella story. It's possible. I think all New York will be pulling for them. They're a number 11 seed if they win the play-in game on Wednesday night. If they do that, they beat Arizona State. Anything could happen, as you know. People filling out their brackets now will tell you that often picking the number 1 seeds doesn't work out in the end. So anything can happen.
All right, well, they have a Catholic anchor pulling for them, so hopefully that works.
And a whole city.
And a whole city as well. Now, there are 68 teams in the tournament. Which one is your favorite to watch?
That's interesting. So I think Gonzaga, another Catholic school, I have to give them a plug. This is a 20th straight NCAA tournament. They've grown over the decades into a number 1 seed, and you can still have a Gonzaga-Villanova final, which would be an all-Catholic final, which is very possible.
Clemente, we have about 30 seconds left. You've been covering this for quite some time. Anything ever surprise you, or do you expect a surprise perhaps this time around?
That's the only thing is not surprising, is I expect a surprise. So I'm not in the prediction business. I know I gave you this sort of all-Catholic final that could happen, but anything could happen. You got to watch the games. On paper, everyone looks good until the games are actually played and things actually happen.
All right. Very unbiased, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Clemente. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Go St. John's.
Thank you.